long-awaited return of the Tiburon. Glad to have it back. A little bit stressed out recently because this thing has been giving me a run for my money the last couple weeks. So I wanted to make a quick video this time going over what I have planned for this summer and also all of the maintenance items I'm stuck doing right now. Not only has it been rain Armageddon the last couple weeks, but I've been literally up to my knees in maintenance. Some things I kind of knew were a problem and I was kind of getting ready to fix them this year. Turned out to be slightly bigger problems and a combined effort of multiple problems. So something that has been going on for a while is the whole sunroof needs to be replaced. Multiple areas where the seal is kind of bumped up. Sunroof panel is really rusted out. I can put a video of what it looks like from the inside. Yeah, you can see kind of there's like 3 points here and it kind of just keeps going. You can see it's kind of shaded where it's bumped up. So all that is where water is coming in. I also needed to buy all the sunroof seals. There's two, there's this one, and then there's a smaller one inside. I had to buy this off of the dealer and it cost me like $170 for both of them, so that wasn't fun. Yeah, you can see all of that there. I mean, not too much of a surprise at this point. I mean, everyone knows that that sunroof is gonna give you trouble at one point. So yeah, definitely check your seals and your tubes. I think they're all in 4 corners. So they might be clogged or just completely dislodged, which I'm hoping didn't happen, but gonna find out. Now, this one isn't a major issue, but this side skirt is giving me trouble again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and completely replace these side skirts. I'm done dealing with the wobbly noodle looking skirts in the sun. So I've got some polyurethane ones coming in. They're for a Mustang, so hopefully I can figure that out. Now that I'm looking at it, it's giving me war flashbacks. My valve stem broke. Where the thread connects to the rubber, I don't know what happened, but it just wasn't holding air. It was all escaping through that, so I had to get that replaced, and that was fun. Speaking of things that just randomly popped up or happened, while I was cleaning things in here because I want to replace my MAF sensor, or not replace it, I need to clean it clearly. I looked down here, my thermostat housing seems to be leaking there. It's also leaking in the front. The hose, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see coolant coming out of that. It doesn't look cracked or anything, so I'm gonna go with bad thermostat. While we're in here and I'm already angry, there is a mechanical noise coming from around here. I feel like I did get a new AC compressor. That was great. Second time replacing that. I feel like my alternator is probably going out because it does sound like an alternator whine, but the second that thing got replaced is when I started hearing this mechanical noise. It's like a really light whistly whine. Or that installing that made the alternator start to go bad because it already, that thing's old as hell. It looks like dust. And of course, because you know everything's got to fail, we got a floppy thing here. I also seem to be getting clunks coming from my wheels or front end every time I turn the wheel at low speeds. Hopefully it's not my coilovers. I mean, kind of maybe hopefully it's the coilovers because that would be less expensive fix. Or it's my steering rack and the U-joints on the inside. I'm gonna replace the fuel pump. It's starting to smell like gas. Cold starts, I do get some grayish smoke coming from the exhaust. Does seem consistent with, I don't know, fuel injectors, fuel pressure regulator, fuel pump, something like that. I think I'm just gonna replace the entire fuel pump assembly. It gets kind of rid of all of that. People have kind of been saying against it, that the aftermarket assemblies aren't that great, but I mean, screw it. Might have to fix this lip because as you can kind of see, it does not match the paint of the car. Beautiful oversight on my part. Still might wrap the car, so might just wrap the lip to kind of avoid all that. But we're on the topic of what's gonna happen to this car. So once I'm done draining my entire wallet and savings account, I'm still probably gonna wrap the car, still kind of looking into that. I'm really worried it's going to rip up the paint. If anyone's ever had any experience wrapping one of these and your paint did come off or didn't come off. Maybe let me know in the comments because I'd love to know. There's just one spot in the rear. I got rear-ended at some point and it did make a crack in the paint there. You can kind of see the lines. And then there's a crack. It is kind of raised up a bit, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't just take all the paint off of that section. That's what I'm most worried about. As for what wrap I'm going to go with, probably going to be the ones that I've been talking about, either a red or the KPMF green-black iridescent. I think it's kind of a good combination of still having a color but still keeping kind of the dark look. Wheels, probably can't afford to do all of this in one season, so the wheels might have to wait. I am looking at NKTS 10s. Really tempted to take off that wiper. I might just do it now that this thing is a summer car. Looking into exhaust options as well as intake. I do have a cold air intake I'm working on. Looking at quad tips just for the aesthetic of it, and also a MagnaFlow. I think it's MagnaFlow. Resonator or muffler. I'm kind of looking into setups because I'm super picky, so I want it to sound slightly better than the V6, but not like fart tube going down the road. Not much is going to change in the front. Still in love with this lip, just need to fix it. I did order the fused fabrication hand inserts, so I'm going to figure out how to get those on and then obviously wrap them the same color I wrapped the car, so it's going to look somewhat hopefully like a Hannah bumper. Almost completely forgot the interior for a hot minute. Do have more plans for the interior, obviously more carbon fiber parts. I have these two master window controller or something. I have to figure out how to get those off. It's been a pain so far. I've been prying that thing. You can see the dust marks of me trying to get this thing off. Then I'm going to be doing probably the headrests, a brown leather strap going down the middle. Gonna do the unfortunate roof, maybe sun visors. So yeah, a couple designs in the work. So thank God that is everything that is currently going on with the car. Hopefully that is the end of it, and the end of it for a while. Disclaimer, it is not really, this is kind of the car's fault, but it's not really the car's fault. I drove this thing way more than I should have. It's a ton of kilometers on it right now. It's at 136,000. which is 150,000 miles. And for these cars, that's not a great mileage to have. As much as it's a reliable car, Hyundai parts are super cheap, super cheaply made, and they are designed to fail. So it's kind of something I did know about going in, but just a disclaimer to people looking at these cars, once they get up there in age, everything that you hear about in a maintenance schedule, things that would last the life of the car for, say, like a Honda or a Toyota, it will not last the life of the car for this. But you get these cars on a good angle and it's all worth it, kind of. Even though I've basically been ranting about this car for the last 15 minutes, at the end of the day, I'm still in love with this car, still have a lot of plans for it this year. Super excited for this season. Hopefully everything goes well and this car doesn't blow up. She's pretty though. Problematic, but she's pretty.